Hi everyone, it's Mr. Jones from the Geography Department, and today we'll be doing the Violent Planet Lesson 5 on our volcano case study. The title today can be quite intimidating to look at, and it's actually Icelandic. Our case study is going to be a volcano that you will find in Iceland, and the way to pronounce it is Eyjafjallajökull. That's my best attempt I could give to you on short notice, but Eyjafjallajökull. Or if you want to make it a bit easier and make sure you get the spelling right, you can just call it E15. So that's our title for today. Could you please put that into your book, and you can add the pronunciation below. Okay, welcome back. So let's get started. At the end of this lesson, I'll be able to describe the effects of E15 explosion in 2010. Most of you will be able to create a brief news report on the incident of E15 in 2010, and to be able to fully explain the creation and the cause is what I'm expecting from some of you. So today's lesson, if it was done in school, would be a carousel style lesson that we've done previously, where I'll give you the data recording sheet, and resources will move around every 5 to 7 minutes. The resource sheet I put together today, you can print out. I prefer it to be A5, or you can just use the headlines in your book. And the headers are: explain the formation of the volcano and the causes of its eruption, describe the eruption, so describe is say what you see, describe the effects of the 2010 eruption. Make sure you can categorize these according to whether they are primary or secondary effects. So primary is instant, happens straight away. Secondary happens later on or after a longer period of time. And at the bottom, describe the responses. So what did people do? Again, can you try and categorize these into immediate and which ones are long term? If you open the document, you will see that I've actually added some help into each box, showing you how to format it and what tables to use. So similar to a carousel lesson, first thing I want you to do is write these headlines in your book. If you've got A4, you might use 2 sides. A5, you might use a side for each. Okay, this is going to ask you to do bullet points, bit of a writing, and hopefully some sketches as well. So starting off, we've got causes. This information again is going to be like a carousel lesson. So what I would like you to do is almost have the work in front of you, and then time yourself 5 to 6 minutes and leave this slide up. You can read for the information and check which box this information should go into. You make sure you summarize into your own terms, or if there's anything you think is very important, you can write the whole sentence out. Throughout this lesson, if there are any keywords you don't understand, please put them into the Teams chat. So you can pause this video now and give yourself 5 minutes for this slide. Okay, welcome back. You should be done with that. We now have the second slide, and we follow the same process. Pause the video, keep the slide on for 5 minutes, add as much information as you can to your information gathering sheet. Okay, so you should have done your next 5 minutes. Fantastic. I'm going to say the same. We've got local, national, international. You can use this style of table. You can use a mind map if you prefer, but you're going to have to take another 5 to 7 minutes on this task. So pause the video, take your 5 to 7 minutes collecting your information, and then play when you're ready to go on to the next one. Okay, welcome back. Last but not least, we have a bit on responses of short term and long term. Again, this is a source analysis lesson. I'm going to give you the information, you take the relevant information and put it onto your information sheet. So again, 5 to 6 minutes. Have a go at this question, please. Okay, welcome back, well done. So you should have filled in your table now. I'd like to see if you can sketch this image. That would be nice to put maybe in the location or in the center of your sheet. When you're looking at causes, you look at the plate margin, you talk about what plates are involved. Talk about the effects. I want you a range of effects. Look at the dates, use some of the keywords. We know pyroclastic flow from last lesson. Again, we're separating from primary and secondary. Primary, if you read through these again, they'll tell you everything that happened instantly. I remember personally, I was on holiday in France and our boat back was one of the last ones, the ferry ship was one of the last ones to leave, because after that all planes and ferries were told to stay until the ash cloud had calmed down, because they didn't want planes flying into it. So as you can see here, it was over an 8-day period. And then short-term and long-term response. So you've got your immediate short-term, where what happens straight away. Mostly this will be done by Iceland. And then you've got the long-term. So what happened after, maybe after those 8 days, and maybe even further, a year or two down the line. And then all the way to the present day, which is almost 11 years after. So what I would like you to do now, the reason I've asked you to gather this information is to write a short little report as if you work for the BBC and you were there, you were in Iceland maybe 7 to 8 days after the explosion. So you will say, hello, this is your name, reporting on a recent explosion of Eyjafjallajökull. Eyjafjallajökull is, and you need to describe it as a volcano. I want you to show your understanding and knowledge here. Tell me what type of boundary it's on. Where is it in Iceland? Is there any other key terms you can include? Then move on to, it has had a huge impact so far. For example, and this is where you can expand and elaborate on points, short term and the possible long term impacts it's had. So I'd like some detail in there, and I'd like you, make sure you're writing this as a report. You are a reporter, you're on TV, and you are telling the public what has happened. And you've got to imagine they don't know the problems that a volcano can cause, short term and long term. So you've got to really explain to them how this is such a big issue. The next section is work has been done to support the people of Iceland and the rest of the world. For example, look into ideas of what support has been put in, what help, who has helped, what has the priority been. Okay, answer these questions, you won't go far wrong. And then at the end, signing off, well, that's your update, back to the studio, E15 in Iceland, your name, signing off. I've added underneath this PowerPoint a success criteria. You can refer to that to make sure you've covered every key point in this report. If you look at the success criteria, there's green, orange and red to show the difficulty of covering that area. So please refer to the success criteria when writing this, and this is your last but one task of the lesson. So you can, once you finish that, and then I'm going to ask you to pause. Once you finish that, I just want you to pick what you think was the most important cause, most important effect, and most important solution. This will just be 3 short bullet points to summarise at the end. Okay, but this is your main task, the report. So please aim to get this completed. Any questions, please ask your teacher in the team chat. Thank you for listening and good luck. Mr. Jones signing off.